The History Department of Rabe College, University of Sierra Leone, held a public lecture at the Mary Kingsland Auditorium featuring guest lecturer Henry Smite, son of the late esteemed RAF officer and barrister John Henry Smite. The lecture centered on the theme, The Life and Time of RAF Officer and Barrister John Henry Smite, providing audience with a profound insight into the life of a man whose journey began in the street of Freetown and transited to a noble height serving in the British military during the World War II. Henry Smite captivated the audience with a touching story from his father's life, detailing his humble beginning as an ordinary man in Sierra Leone. He elaborated on John Henry Smite's early years, highlighting the value of resilience and perseverance and dedication that propelled him from Freetown to the international stage. Smite recounted his father's enlistment into the Royal Air Force during the World War II, serving bravely for his country while navigating the complexities of identity and royalty as a Sierra Leonean in the British military. The lecture provided a platform for Henry Smite to illustrate not only the military accomplishment of his father, but also a significant contribution to law and civil rights after the war. John Henry Smite eventually became a respected barrister, championing justice and equality and inspiring generations both in Sierra Leone and abroad. Isaiah Bokari Conte, a student of the History Department, expressed his heartfelt gratitude following the lecture. He said, Eddie's recounting of his father's journey has inspired him personally, and it is a powerful reminder of where we come from and the potential each of us holds to create change in our communities, he stated.
The public lecture was impactful, of which me in particular, I learned a lot. First off, I came to realize that we have great people who happen to be Sierra Leoneans that we are yet to know about. So today, I think the hidden Pan-Africanist was revealed to us, who happens to be Mr. Henry Smite, who was taken from Sierra Leone to Britain, and later he happens to join the army in the UK, and later he fought the World War II, and later he came again to Sierra Leone, proving his resilience, showing his nationalistic prowess, that indeed he was a proud Sierra Leonean. So for me, I think I learned a lot about his endurance, the zest he was having in fighting for what he believed.
In an interview with journalist post-lecture, Henry Smite further elaborated on his father's legacy. He stated that his father always believed in the importance of education and service, and the life of his father is a testament to the idea that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve greatness. And he hoped that the story of his father will motivate others to dream big and work hard to realize those dreams.
It's quite important, I think, for people here, people in the history department, to understand the story of John Smythe, who was born in Sierra Leone in 1915, and he volunteered to join the RAF when war was declared with Germany in 1939. And he came over to Britain. He successfully trained as a navigator, and he was promoted to an officer. And this was at a time when they had only just started allowing black people to join the RAF. And he was one of only 60 people in the whole continent of Africa to be recruited to join. And he passed out as an officer. He was shot down over a heavily defended target in Germany in 1943. Although he was badly wounded, he'd had a successful parachute jump. He was captured, he was quite brutally interrogated, but he was then treated in hospital. He had 2 ribs removed, and then he was sent to a prisoner of war camp where he spent 18 months. When the war camp was liberated at the end of the war, he returned to London and he would work for the Colonial Office, which was a department in the British government at that time. And he made some very, very crucial decisions, some very pivotal decisions, which affected certain historical events in Britain. Those events are still being talked about today. After this, he studied law in London. He qualified as a barrister. He returned to his hometown of Sierra Leone because he was always going to return to Sierra Leone. His view was, providing he wasn't killed in war, he'd come back home. And when he came back home, he worked for the government. He was very successful working for the government, and eventually he set up his own legal chambers where he worked until he retired.
The event concluded with a lively question and answer session where attendees engaged with Henry Smite, diving deeper into the socio-political context of his father's time and the impact of his work. The History Department of the Fourah College, University of Sierra Leone, expressed a desire to continue hosting short educational events, showcasing the importance of understanding historical figures who have contributed significantly to Sierra Leone's legacy. The public lecture was not only a tribute to John Henry Smite, but also a celebration of the rich history of Sierra Leone and its people, inspiring a new generation to learn from the past experiences to forge a brighter future. For Star TV News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.